Hi, DCC. One of the things you're going to be doing in the course is taking notes on a wide range of things that we do in the class. You're going to be taking notes on the readings. You're going to take notes on the workshops as well as the in-class discussions that we have. And I'm doing this year in lieu of quizzes. I felt a little overwhelmed by the quizzes we took with the Kappa class last year, and I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to find an alternative way to motivate you as a class to keep up with the readings, to actually engage them in a meaningful kind of way. And another component is that people often forget things that they take in a single class years later. And I want to help you create an archive of your notes that you can then access in your senior year or beyond. If there's something in a handful of years, you're like, we talked about this one thing in DCC 105, what was that? And then you can go and search it. Right now, I currently have in my office, which is here, I'm in my office in Prince Frederick right now. I have all these folders from graduate school of notes, handwritten notes that I took, and I don't quite know what's in those. They're not searchable. I have to kind of thumb through them when I'm looking for a particular phrase that somebody mentioned once. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is take notes in a way that's searchable. You can add metadata to your notes, such as tags, and be able to have them in a digital way that they're searchable in the future. Now, whether that means you handwrite your notes for this class and then pull them into a program and annotate them in some capacity, that's absolutely fine. Or if you want to take notes in a program that is kind of a digitally native software that you can just write your notes right in. You can do either of those things. So if you're somebody who likes to do handwritten notes, you can still do that. You just have to be able to figure out a way to pull them in. And I'm going to show you a couple of options. The first is what I call Evernote. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you to give you a sense. And you'll go to evernote.com. And this is a free program. You can upgrade it depending on how much storage you need and things along those lines. And you'll go ahead and download this here. And let me go ahead and launch my Evernote here. So I've got these notebooks where I will, for example, in this class, what I would encourage you to do is go ahead and do new notebook, and we'll call this DCC 105. And this is a private notebook that we will create. And now within this notebook, what I can do is go ahead and do new note. And you can allow it to do your location if you want. But here we'll call this day one, taking notes. And here you can start Jason's video on taking notes, for example. And here we could say you can use handwritten notes or digital notes in Evernote. Okay, and within this I can add tags such as notes, and I could say class, followed by a comma, so on and so forth. And now I'm going to start collecting all of my notes in this folder, which is what you will ultimately share with me when you're done with the class. The great thing about Evernote as well is that it lets you capture things on the web. So if you use Google Chrome or another browser, you can find an Evernote extension called the Web Clipper, Evernote Web Clipper, which I've already installed, which means when you go to we're going to be reading this article, for example, at the end of the semester about people resisting urban design and doing their own. So this is a great article I found in The Guardian, and I've got this Web Clipper installed. So once I've installed it, I can go over here in Chrome to the right-hand side next to my image, and I've got this little puzzle piece icon, which is my extensions. And I can go ahead and pin the Evernote Web Clipper to my browser. And now I'm going to go ahead and click on the elephant and then desire paths. I'm going to pick the folder. So for example, I just created DCC 105. and I'm going to add a tag such as design, urban planning. These are tags that I've used in the past. And creative misuse is the context that we're doing. And you can change the name of the article right here. I can save the article, simplified, full page. I usually do full page just to capture everything, and then I go save clip. And it's saving that after I've logged into the Evernote web clipper. And now it's syncing. And now I'm going to go back to Evernote, and I'm going to click the sync button, this refresh button at the top. And now the web page has been saved for this. So, and now when I go in and I search urban planning, it's showing me articles related to urban planning that I've done, that I've saved here. So Evernote is one way to do that. And actually, I'm going to show you one other thing that you can do. Okay, I'm going to show you what you do when you've got handwritten notes. And you can install Evernote onto your phone. Let me go ahead and I'm going to pull this camera over here for a moment. Okay, so I've got Evernote installed, got all of my notes, and I've got a handwritten note here. Slide my computer back. And now if I go to the bottom, I can click on the plus sign, and here is also a plus sign where I can take a photo, and it's going to let me scan the document. So it's searching for the document, and it automatically detected it, and now it scanned it. And I'll hit save. And I'm going to title this. I'll just call it Note 1, for example, which is really bad practice. You want to give it something meaningful. But I'm going to save this over to DCC 105 and then click Done. Okay, let's take a look at what that looks like. Let me go ahead and sync up and clear the urban planning search. Okay, I now have a note that is pulled into this. And now that there's a note in here, I can add some tags. So this one is about recruitment. And here I can say HDCC 209, for example. So this allows you to give it some tags, let it be searchable a little bit anyway. And you can type in some things as well related to it. So let me go down here below the note, and I can just start adding text related to this where so HDCC recruitment events and some things that I want to be able to be searchable. I'll go ahead and type those in because they're not going to be, the text itself is not searchable here, only the things that I type or add as tags. And that's what I'm going to have you do as if you're a handwritten notes person, is go in, tag it with some things that relate to the course content, maybe go in below the handwritten scan that you've just done and type up a couple of things to help you remember for this particular day. That's what we wanted to do. This is what we studied. This is what we talked about. Okay, when all is said and done, at the end of the semester, you're going to go to notebooks. I'm going to find DCC 105, and I'm going to click these three little dots on the far side, and I'm going to click share. This notebook is available to, and I'm going to change it to shared. And let's go ahead and what I'd like you to do is to share it with me at my Gmail, jasonfarman@gmail.com. And that way I can grade you. And we're going to turn these in at midterm, at mid-semester check-in point, and then at the very end of the semester as well. So you'll share those with me at that time. So Evernote is one way to do this. The other is called Google Keep. You would sign in with your Terp mail for this, and you can basically do exactly the same thing that we just talked about, where you're taking notes right within the document. All right, here, let me add a title. How to take notes in DCC 105. And then I can add links. I can add lorem ipsum. Let me just grab some text here. Just so you can see. And then we can add collaborators, you can add reminders, change colors, add images, add a drawing, etc. And same thing with Evernote. You can install this on your phone. There's also a web clipper that's a part of this. So I've got Evernote Keep Chrome extension here, and I can just add some details about it. Urban planning, I can add tags. All right, now that's saved. Let me go back to Google Keep. So Google Keep allows you to do all of the things that Evernote does as well. It just has a different kind of layout, and it's web-based for the most part, while Evernote, you will download it to your devices. So these are the ways that you're going to be taking notes throughout the semester. And what I'm looking for really is to let the notes process for you be something that is beneficial to you. So I don't care as much what's in the notes. I want quality notes. I want you to learn how to be a really strong note taker while you're here at the university. It's really essential to take solid notes as you do your work in all of your classes. But for the most part, I really want you to think of this as an archive, as a way of documenting this class so you can return to it later down the line. And that's what I'm most interested in. So as I look at your notes, I want it to be able to look at it and say, this is something that's going to be useful to this person 5 years from now when they're done here at the University of Maryland. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for you to capture things that you find interesting, that you want to return to, ideas that can help shape how you work as an academic, as a designer, as a researcher, as a critical thinker, and capture those in some capacity to demonstrate that you've done the reading, that you've engaged the workshops. Especially for workshops, one of the things I want to stress is that there are so many times when I'm watching a video workshop and that person says, here's how to do this shortcut, or here's how to do this particular thing, and I forget about it. And I have to hunt through the video to find that moment where the person did the thing that I need to do. However, when I take really strong notes while watching a video workshop, I then know how to find that thing. I know what the shortcut is for doing a particular action within the software. It's so beneficial. So use the notes as an opportunity for you to not have to go through the videos a second, a third time to figure out how to do that one thing. Take notes while you watch, follow along with me in the workshop videos as we go through things such as Photoshop here in a couple of weeks, and use this as a way to be able to help remind yourself of how to do particular things within the software. So that's what I'm looking for within the notes that you're going to take. And if you have any questions about this, please let me know. All right, thanks.